Hello beautiful people, you're welcome to my channel once again. Still your own boy MC Bernardino. Alright, welcome. Alright, are you out there struggling with creating your express entry profile, or you're out there you don't know what factors this express entry pool actually take into cognizance as far as the generating point, or you're out there you want to know what you need to score in your next test of English so that you stand a better chance? What age is actually good age for you to create your express entry profile? So on today's episode, I'll be dissecting that for you. What are the factors that you need to consider in the comprehensive ranking system? How to use the comprehensive ranking tools? These are what I'll be telling you today. So you want to hang on tight, stay tuned, call your friends, call your neighbors, call everybody, because we're going to eat it the way we are supposed to today.
Shall we begin? Let's begin now.
Alright, so let's quickly go to the disclaimer. I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a consultant. I'm just dishing out information because I know the importance of information. If you want to make your own immigration decision, you're free to do that. I'm just here to guide you. Alright guys, once again, I can't do videos on everything you want, but I'll try as much as possible to bring videos to your doorstep on cogent, important things that you need to know as far as migrating to Canada is concerned. Alright guys, are you new on this channel? Are you coming for the first time? You just stumbled on this channel, or you're coming back and you have not subscribed to this channel? Encourage your boy. Click on the subscription button, it's right down below. Click on the subscription button, hit the likes button, because these are what actually endeared me to do more videos. So just a way of encouraging your boy. I don't ask for money, just click on the subscription button, hit the likes button, share this video with your loved ones. That's all I demand from you guys. Alright, just like I told you earlier on, I'll be telling you about how to use the CRS to the comprehensive ranking system tool. So this is an application, Canadian immigration application that is built online, that you can use to simulate what your score will be by the time you finally create your profile in the express entry pool. I can assure you that if you do this simulation, the result, the point you will get will be, if not the same, almost the same with what you will get when you create your profile. So on today's episode, I will not just be doing the talking alone, but I will be going into the practical aspect of it. I'll be showing you how you can actually do it in order for you to understand it clearly. Alright, so let's get to the practical aspect of it now. So while on Google page, you want to type in CRS tool calculator, which is the second one. You click on it, then it brings you to this page. So the first one on the ranking, you click on that, and that brings you to the Government of Canada immigration website. Okay, comprehensive ranking system, CRS tool, skilled immigrant express entry. Alright, so there's a disclaimer here. I'll just quickly briefly tell you what it means. So it simply says that whatever you calculate on this website, the score you generate, take for instance, you generate the score of 450, and by the time you want to create your own main profile on the main website, your score could be, maybe for instance, maybe there's a discrepancy of your score is now 445 and here is 450. So what this is just saying, that there might be some discrepancy, but in the case whereby you have discrepancy, the one you have on your profile take precedence. That's the main one. So this one here is just like simulation, trying to guide you, give you an idea. So it's not always the case. Alright, so when you scroll down, you see what you are being, so in the express entry, all these factors below are what you're being assessed based on. So you're assessed based on these skills, based on education, based on language ability, based on work experience, and other factors. So those are what you're being assessed based on. And this tool, if you use it, it can actually give you the score you will get. Give you an idea, if not the same, almost the same, what you will get when you finally create your profile. It lets you know if you're actually eligible for express entry. And so these are what it tells you. So let's just go down into the main reason why we're here. So the first question says, so try as much as possible to fill this information as truthful as you can. So the first one is, what's your marital status? So you want to put in your marital status here. So option, are you annulled marriage, common law, divorce, legally separated, married, single, never married, widowed. So whatever the option that is applicable to you, you just pick it. So just because we're doing a simulation, I will pick in never married, single. Okay, so now the next question pops up, which is how old are you? Okay, so how old are you is the next question that pops up. Don't mind the this is 1, this is 3. Just because of what you chose, that's why you have question 3 coming up. So how old are you? You want to tell choose what option is applicable to you. So you have different ages here, but just because we're on simulation, I just want to pick 30. All right, so now comes the next question, which is question number 4. What is your level of education? And so you need to be very careful. Don't just quickly just select. You need to read the instruction here, okay? So enter the highest level of education to which you 1. Earn a Canadian degree or diploma or certificate, or 2. Add an educational credential assessment (ECA) if you studied outside Canada. So if you study outside Canada and your evaluation has been done, your result evaluation has been done, so you still want to pick what level of education you have, okay? So either you study in Canada or outside, this is applicable to you. So now let's go to select. So the first one says, are you is your highest education less than secondary? Don't forget the highest education that we're looking out for. Then the second one is it secondary diploma, 1 year diploma, 1 year program? Is it 2 years program? Is it bachelor's degree? And the next one is 2 or more certificate, diploma, degrees, masters, doctors. Which one is applicable to you? All right. So just because we are still doing simulation, I just want to pick bachelor's degree, but you have to pick what is obtainable to you. Then the next question pops up, which says, have you earned a Canadian degree, diploma, or certificate? So don't forget that in the express entry, you get additional points. If you study in Canada, you get additional points. So if you are studying here in Canada and you have the certificate, then click on this, say yes. If you are outside Canada, you haven't studied in Canada, which I'm actually dedicating this video towards, especially those that are outside Canada, you just simply say no. Okay, you say no. But if you studied in Canada, you pick yes. All right, so the next question pops up and it says official languages. So now you need to put in you must have sat for your IELTS, your test of English. Outsiders, if you are inside Canada, you can also take CELPIP. So for those that are outside, IELTS. So now, before you click on that, there's a note here that says, are your test results less than 2 years old? So you need to state here if your result is, because if your result is higher than 2 years, then you can't use it. Your ECA result is only valid for 2 years. So that's something you need to know. All right. So if it's lesser than 2 years, then you say yes. That means you're legible. If it's higher than that, no, you're not legible. Okay. So the next question is, which language test did you first official language? So which language test did you take? So is it CELPIP, IELTS, TEF for the French speakers, and TCF also for the French speakers? So which one did you take? So you took IELTS. So now it's time for you to put in your score. So that's why I keep telling those that ask me this same question, that before you can do this simulation, you must have done your IELTS. Or you've done your IELTS. You want to know what you need to score in the next one that you want to write for you to stand a good chance. So this website is actually meant for you. So speaking, because you're still doing simulation, you have, let's say you have 7.5 to 9. Listening, let's say you have 8.5 to 9. We're just going for the highest. Then reading, you have 7 to 7.5. Then writing, you have 7.5 to 9. Okay, so that's, if let's say this is your score range, then that takes us to the next question, which says, do you have other language results? Don't forget, in my previous video that I've done as far as increasing your score in in the express entry, if you have two language results, the better for you. So some people who have done English, they have also done French. All right, so if you've done French, then you can pick whichever one you did in the French. Guys, you can't do 2 English test exam. You can't do IELTS and do CELPIP and put in those 2. It's not accepted. It's either English and French, or only one of them. So you understand that. So that's why you don't even see the option of self-pip here anyways. So since you have not done French, not applicable. But if you have done French, you click on French. So not applicable. Now we go to the number 6 question, which says work. So now we're talking about work experience. And it says, in the last 10 years, how many years of skilled work experience in Canada do you have? So this is talking about in Canada. In Canada. And also, if you read the note, it simply says the job must be a NOC job, a National Occupation Classification job. It's not just any kind of job. It's either NOC O, NOC A, or NOC B. So the experience, your job experience must be in either of these three, O, A, or B. Okay, and it must be in Canada. So if you are studying in Canada, you pick how many years of experience you have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or more. Or if you are outside Canada, you haven't done it, you don't have any experience in Canada. Just simply say none or less than a year. That simply means you are not getting a score for that. So now take us to the second part of the question. In the last 10 years, how many total years of foreign skilled work experience do you have? So now this is applicable for those of you that are outside. So how many years do you have? How many years work experience do you have? And there's a note there that says it must have been paid full-time or equal to an amount paid in part-time. So that simply means that the job you're talking about must be full-time, and if it is not full-time, it must be of an equal amount in part-time. So the part-time hours must be equal to a full-time, and it must be paid. I mean, you understand, it's not something you're doing for free, because part of the letter, reference letter that you're going to provide, it needs to show how much you're getting, and whether it's a full-time or how many hours you're doing as a part-time. And lastly, it must be not skilled type O, A, or B. It is very paramount. So it's not just any kind of job. So you now click on that and you select how many years of experience you have. It's 1 year, 2 years, or 3 or more years. So let's pick 3 or more years. Now take us to the next question, which is number 7. Do you have a certificate of qualification from a Canadian province, territory, or federal body? So there's a certificate of qualification that you get if you are in Canada. So this is only obtainable if you are in Canada. If you are not in Canada, if you are outside, you might not have this. So if you have it, click on select, you say yes. If no, you click on no. So number 8, additional points. So these are ways you can secure additional points. Number 8 says, do you have a valid job offer supported by a labor market impact assessment? So this simply says that if you are inside Canada, do you have a valid job offer already, and it is supported by LMIA. So LMIA is just like the employer, the company that gave you the job, simply states that you are the only person that can do that job. I mean, nobody else can do that job. So that means jobs like that are supported by LMIA. Nobody in Canada. So if you are outside Canada and you have a valid job offer submitted by LMIA, so that simply means that you are the only person that can do that job. In the whole of Canada, nobody can do it. That's why they are bringing you from outside. All right, so if you have a job submitted by LMIA, you say yes. If no, you click no. So number 9 question says, do you have a nomination certificate from a province or territory? So don't forget that Canada has 10 provinces and 3 regions. So these provinces, they have their own immigration system too. So if you have a nomination from any of these provinces, whether Manitoba, Ontario, Alberta, Saskatchewan, any of them, then you say yes, because that gives you additional points. And if you don't, you can simply say no. Then number 10 says, do you or your spouse or common law partner, if they will come with you to Canada, have at least one brother or sister living in Canada who is Canadian, who is citizen or permanent resident? So now this is a very valid question that people ask me question on too. So you need to know if you're married, you or your spouse, does any of you have an immediate family member who is a Canadian citizen or permanent resident? I mean, there must be an immediate. So let's see the criteria. The first one says that the person must be 18 years or older. 2 says related to you or your partner by blood, marriage, common law, partnership, or adoption. Those are strong points, okay? The last one says have a parent in common with you or your partner. You understand? So a brother or sister is related to you by blood, adoption, or marriage. So if you feel you have any brother or sister that is within this category, then you can get points for that. You simply say yes. If you don't, you say no. I mean, if you say yes, you get 15 points. I'm sure of that. If you say no, then you don't get a point for that. Now it's time for you to calculate based on the information that you've put online. It's time for us to simulate what your score will be. So your result is this. So these are for age, you got that. For level of education, you got that. For spouse factor, don't forget you said you are not married, it's single that we picked. So skills transferability, you got that. Comprehensive ranking score. At the end of the day, you came to a grand total of 433. So if you look at this, you discover that for the comprehensive ranking system formula, subtotal you got 433 for that. Provincial nominee, because you don't have any provincial nominee. If you add a provincial nominee from any of the provinces, that could have been a 600 there. If you had applied for, take for instance, Manitoba provincial nominee and you got the certificate and you say yes, then that's a 600 there. Your score will have been 1,033. So your job, don't forget they asked us the question on job offer supported by LMIA. You don't have, that's why you have 0 there. Now study in Canada. If you are studied in Canada, whether a 1-year program or a 2 years program, there's a point that comes with that. That's why you have 0 there too. Siblings in Canada. Don't forget I told you, if you have chosen that you have a sibling in Canada, that's an additional 15 points. Then the last one but not the least is the French language skills. So don't forget I only simulated for English language only. So if we had picked French too, then there will have been a score for that. So that's why I try as much as possible to keep this simple, because I'm putting in mind those that are outside Canada. So that's why I click no for those. But if you feel you have it, then it's an additional point for you. And 433 is the score. And the reason why the score is a bit high is just because when I simulated with the IELTS score, I put in the highest figures. You see, this one was the highest, and this one was the highest. This one was close to the highest, and close to the highest, and this one was the highest likewise. So that was why we had 433. It's not always the case. For someone to score this, I mean, you need to be very brilliant to score that. So that's why you need to tweak around. So sometimes you want to tweak around and see what is obtainable. So if this is not your score, you can put in 7. If this is not yours too, for the other one, you can click 8. Listening. If that is your score, you keep it. If not, you change what the score is. And lastly, the writing. If take for instance you score 7 in writing, as against the 7.5 that I chose. So let's recalculate. So you can always recalculate it. So let's recalculate, and based on that, see what we are. 427. So you've dropped 5 points. I mean, the way things work is you just have to tweak around, work around it. But based on my own experience, I've discovered that listening is more weighted. I mean, if you can score the highest in listening and other ones, I mean, if in listening you can score like 8, and the other ones you can score like 7.5 or 8.2, you should be fine. So guys, I hope you actually enjoyed this video. I've tried as much as possible to guide you through how you can actually simulate your CRS score in the express entry for the express entry profile. So after you have simulated that and you've seen what you had, then you can go further to create your profile and put in your information. I mean, I like this simulation because it gives you an idea of what level of preparation, where you are and where you need to be. I mean, by the time you do this and you go to create your profile, I can assure you it's going to almost be the same score that you have. If not, it's just going to be maybe because you changed some information. Apart from that, these are what gives you score in the express entry profile. Okay people, I hope after watching that aspect of the video, you now understood what is actually the cogent thing as far as express entry is concerned. What are the things that gives you points? The age, the language, your score in the language test, your work experience, if you work in Canada, if you have any sibling in Canada, if you have provincial nominee, these are what gives you points. I mean, despite the fact that you're outside, if you don't have some of these points, there are some still points that you can still work on, like the test of English, the IELTS. we can actually give you your shot. Don't forget, in my last video I shared with you my own experience and how it worked for me, and it can also work for you too. So this is the practical way where you can actually how you can actually simulate your CRS score using the tools that I just shared with you today. And in this video I'll be linking down below the website to how you can simulate your result to know what the score you need to get in the express entry for you to be okay. All right, so on the think about this segment, I'll be dropping it deep. You think about it and it works. Segment today, I have this very wonderful quote from Jim Rohn, and it simply said, accuracy brings credibility. How is this applicable, you want to ask? As far as creating your express entry profile is concerned, you need to be accurate in the information you put in there. I mean, you can't afford to make any mistake. You can't afford to put in false information there. That is misrepresentation, because if you create a profile built on inaccuracy, by the time you're chosen, by the time you receive the ITA and you're told to submit those documents, and you can't prove those information you submitted initially, then that means you can be banned from coming into Canada. The application can be turned down. So many things can happen. So try as much as possible not to falsify anything. Be accurate in the information you put online, and at the end of the day, when you receive your ITA, you can submit those documents to back up the information you have, and before you know it, you become a permanent resident in Canada. Alright, I hope you enjoyed everything I've brought to your table today. If you feel you enjoyed it, let's take a moment again. If you haven't subscribed, you should be convinced by now. Click on the subscription button, hit the likes button. Click on the likes button to show you appreciate this video. Share this video on your social handle. Share with your loved ones, share with your friends. These are ways you encourage me. If you have any question, if you have any concern, anything you're not clear about, drop it in the comment section below. I'll revert back to you as soon as possible. Alright, it's been real. I always keep it real with you. Please guys, stay out of crime, be nice, till I come back to you guys with another wonderful, scintillating episode on Canada immigration with MC Bernardino. Guys, be blessed.